Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to another edition of Breakfast with Kevin. We're going to talk about eBay tips and tricks for improving your sales and increasing your profit right after this. Hey, good morning. Welcome to another edition of Breakfast with Kevin. Eating my cereal once again. This morning it's corn checks. Drinking my fruit-flavored water. That's why it looks a little cloudy, because it's nice and cold. Came out of the pitcher, right out of the refrigerator. Boy, does it taste good. After I finish the cereal, I'm going to have a banana this morning. But, let's talk today about tips and tricks for your eBay store and how you can improve sales. Yesterday, I posted on the Our Journey to Freedom blog a tip to reset your RSS feed. If you're not familiar with an RSS feed, go over there, read the article. I give a brief description of what it is. Basically, it's a computer list that can be read by various software programs and search engines to see what the first 100 items are in your store that are listed in there, and that goes by the newest items. So what happens is the list keeps growing and growing and growing, and your older items get pushed to the bottom. So if you have a lot of items in your store like we do that are good till canceled, those items will get buried at the bottom of the list because you have your feed and everybody else's feeds coming in. So your items are never really at the top again. And a lot of resellers will tell you that's a reason right there to not use good to cancel. I don't believe in it, and I know there's a whole mindset of resellers out there like I am that good to cancel works as long as you stay on top of it and you do some of these other things to make sure that your listings aren't getting buried, your pricing is right, your titles are right, so that people can find your items. What we like to do on some items, if we're not sure, we'll post them for 30 days. We'll give it a try. We'll tweak some things. It gives us that opportunity. And then rather than relist that item, we go in and sell similar. We choose the sell similar option, which creates a new listing in eBay's eyes, not relisting the existing listing. Tends to help a little bit with stats when you follow a large mass quantity on items. But the RSS feed reset is something, if you're using good to cancel, you have a store and you have a decent number of items in your store, then you should be doing it probably, every 3 to 4 weeks or so should be running this option. Now, it does take a little bit of time. It takes a couple minutes to go in there, select the option to turn it off, wait overnight, so you're going to wait 24 hours, and then you're going to go back in and turn it back on. So, for 10 minutes worth of work, 10 minutes worth of work, and then waiting that 24 hours, it's just put it on your schedule, part of maintenance that you got to do. So I know personally we've seen an increase in sales right after every time we've done it. It takes about a day or two, and then all of a sudden you see sales go up. Now, the other part, slow sales, we are getting into that season where it's just time. Especially up here in the Northeast where I'm at, we literally just got rid of snow a couple weeks ago. So, sun's out, 70 degrees. People are flocking outside to do all their outside activities. They're not sitting inside on the computer. Does that mean people are not buying? No, there's still people buying, but you don't have as many as when we're in the winter months. We're in more of a season where people are indoors and sitting on the computer. So, and not everybody sits on a computer. Some people sit with a phone, a tablet, whatever it may be. But there's other things you can do with your items by making sure you have an accurate title that describes your items with the keywords in there that people are going to be searching for. So, for me, I and prior was a digital marketer and did a lot of SEO stuff. And by my day trade, my full-time job, I am an SEO strategist where I do nothing but analyze keywords for various people's websites to help promote them in the search engines and get them ranking higher. So it comes natural to me to try and find those keywords and put the right things in place. Does that mean every item I put up sells? Absolutely not. I've got stuff that's been sitting in there for a couple of months, and all of a sudden, boom, it sells. We had a shirt the other day. One of the first items we listed, I know it was in that first batch because we used a specific background on those images that we were taking. So you're talking it's from November. I got a best offer, $1 less than what we had it listed for. I jumped all over it. Why? Because that item's been sitting for 6 months. Yeah, I'll take $1 less if it means it's going to move the inventory out the door. You know, it was a Brooks Brothers shirt, not a dress shirt, a polo shirt. So I was happy to see it go. You know, it really didn't cost me much to sit there. You know, I paid 50 cents for the shirt, and you know, it sat there as part of my store, so it was part of my free listings. It really didn't cost me anything for it to keep renewing, but it was time to recoup that investment and move on to something else. We still made a profit on it, mainly because my cost was so low. But you know, looking at making sure you're priced right. You know, you should never be creating a new listing on eBay unless you just have a very, very rare item. Like if you're into antiques or you're into something that's so rare that it's not on there. You know, pretty much most of the modern day merchandise is there. You should be going and searching for comps and then finding the highest sold item and doing a sell similar on it. You shouldn't be creating a new listing from scratch. That person already got the right keywords in there to attract a buyer at a premium price. Why would you not want to replicate that? So there's another tip for you. So I'd love to hear from you guys. What are you doing? What kinds of tips, tweaks, or changes are you making periodically to your store to improve your sales? You know, are you experiencing the summer slowdown? If you've been a reseller for a while, are you used to the June, July, August months where it just kind of slows down a little bit? And, you know, because it is summer and everybody's out traveling and enjoying life and, you know, what do you do to compensate for that slowdown? You know, for us, we just stay diverse in multiple marketplaces, and we stay diverse in the items that we sell so that we don't really feel as much of a pain from that slowdown. How many items do you have listed in your store, and what is your average selling price? You know, those are two things that make a big difference. You know, for us, we were originally shooting to try and get as many items as possible, and we weren't focusing as much on the average selling price or the amount of profit we were getting on it. You know, if we could make $2-3, we were happy. And we noticed that when we started going for a little bit higher average sell price, you know, our average sell price was like $10-11. When we started shooting for, you know, $15, $20, $25 average sell price, we saw our dollar value of the store go up versus, you know, not only did the number of items increase, but the total dollar value of the store went up. And that has a lot of factors to do with how your items appear in somebody's search results. You know, the algorithm from eBay looks at, you know, how good of a seller you are, how many items do you have in your store, how many items have you sold, how much dollar amount have you sold. Why are they looking at that? Because they charge you a percentage on the commission. Are they going to want to keep pushing somebody forward that they're only making, you know, 50 cents off of, or are they going to want to push somebody forward they're making $5-10 off of each item? So, you know, it all comes down to a financial decision. So will they come out and admit that to you? Absolutely not. But, you know, I'm telling you just from experience and seeing different things that's what's going on. You know, there's quite a few criterias in there on how you get your items in front of everybody. we use promoted listings. We use markdown sales and specials quite a bit. You know, I'll go through and I don't let them run. You know, they suggest running in 30 days. I don't. I do like a 3-day sale. 3-day sale, get 15% off. 3-day sale, get 10% off. And I select specific items for the promoted listings. We did a sample test with like 10 items, and we ran through, and a couple of the items sold. Now, you do pay a little bit more in a fee to eBay to use that feature, but depending on the item, it's worth it. I had a New York Giants coat that didn't sell during the football season. We posted it towards the tail end. We posted it in January, so it was the tail end of the football season. So, you know, had I had it up in September, it probably would have sold during the season. But they really didn't have that great of a year, so, you know, people weren't ready to support the team. So we put it up, and we tried it in the promoted listings. And to my shock, it sold. And it sold quickly once we put it in that promoted listings. So, you know, we had a couple other items sell. I just started 2 more groups of promoted listings, and I noticed that when I was in there the other day, now they're giving you recommendations on the items you should be promoting. So I did a whole separate group of just the recommended items so that I can go through and track it and follow it and see how does it go. Are they really recommending the right items to be promoted? So, and I usually stay within, you know, the average for the fee that you want to give back, the percentage you want to give back to eBay for promoting it. They let you control how much it's going to cost you, you know, and obviously the more you pay them, the more they're going to promote it. So, what other things do we do? Well, there is an email feature within eBay that allows you to email your customers. We haven't in the past done that, and I think we're going to start doing that here shortly. Just kind of follow up with them. I'm going to look out and see. Maybe you guys know of one. If you do, please leave it in the comments below. If there's a software kind of like Feedback Genius for Amazon that automatically, you know, sends emails to your customer when the tracking shows that the item's going to be delivered. When a couple days after that saying, hey, we hope everything was great, leave us feedback. I want to see if there's something like that for eBay. You know, that way we can boost our feedback a little bit more. You know, for eBay, we see probably 1 in every 6 or 7 sales actually leaves us feedback. Amazon, it's probably like 1 or 2 for every 100. When we ran Feedback Genius, it seemed to be 1 for every 10, 15 sales. We were getting feedback, so it was worth it for the period. We ran it for probably 2 months, Feedback Genius, and then I stopped running it because we were getting some people that were just leaving us some pretty nasty, disgusting feedback that just was inaccurate and untrue, and we were having to chase the tail and constantly going to Amazon to have it removed, or they're leaving us feedback on the product quality instead of leaving a product feedback, you know. So it just wasn't working out the way we wanted it to work out, so we stopped using Feedback Genius. But you know, I'm hoping maybe there's something that can boost my feedback on eBay. We do stick inside every one of the items a little postcard that, you know, thanks them for their purchase and asks for feedback. But and some of them, you know, it's really great. People leave really great feedback, and others it's they leave us positive feedback, but their comments are just very dull. You know, item as described. Okay, well, I just cut you a really great deal on a really great item, and that's all you can give me. So, you know, it's you got to learn not to take it personal. But it's just, you know, that's another thing that you know, eBay uses as a ranking factor on whether or not your items are going to show up in their search feeds. So, So there's a handful of tips on what we do, and I want to hear from you guys. You know, what are you doing? What works for you? What tweaks and changes do you make to your store on a regular basis that you see a boost in sales afterwards? So go ahead and leave that in the comments down below. Be sure to like this video. Let YouTube and all of the other viewers know that we're doing an awesome job. Give us that thumbs up. You know, if you're new to our channel, welcome. Thank you for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can see our videos that we have coming out. If you want to get notified immediately upon us posting or going live, click that little bell right next to the subscribe button. Alrighty, hustlers, I want you to get out there and do.